discovered, my half brother kind of on the internet. And I was like, I think this might be a relative, we kind of linked it back. And so I was like, Andrea, I don't know. I don't know what I should do. Should I'm 30 something years old, clearly he's younger. He's a little younger than me and probably has no idea that I even exist. Right. And I was like, do I reach out? And she was like, what we decided on was LinkedIn. She was like, you know what, Cassie, go on LinkedIn and send like a very professional message. He's in digital media. Maybe act as if you're a potential client and just send a hello message and see what kind of response you get. So I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. So I just sent a quick intro email on LinkedIn, and he responded about 6 or 7 hours later with a very long novel of a message and or a couple paragraphs. And he said, Cassie, I've been hoping you would reach out to me my whole life. And I asked him, what his relationship was like. And he's like, Cassie, he's been the best dad to me. So the father that, what had a problem with alcohol and left my mom when she was pregnant with me, basically. I think he held me at the hospital, and then I think he just left and never came home, So it was like, that man ended up having a son a few years later and being an amazing dad. Wealth management for 15 years.
Oh, okay.
So
that was the primary thing.
Yeah. I graduated college and literally in 2000, in the year that the tech bubble and markets went to shit, and everybody, all the big firms shut down their training programs. And here I graduate from college and I'm literally 21 years old. And I walk into Smith Barney, my father had,
He had some juice.
Well, my dad was, one of the first guys to really kind of encompass the whole concept of stock options. And so my father had built this very large team handling these institutional clients. But my dad was like, Cassie, my dad it's never been a handout for Cassie. My dad's like, Cassie. Yeah. Well, yeah. And he's like, Cass, if you want to be in this industry, you got to make it on your own first. Graduate the FA program, which was a 3-year program. And then he was like,
My kind of guy.
If you make it, then we can talk about maybe you joining the team. And so I was like, I sat in the bullpen, cold calling, cold walking. I told Bismarck, in Atlanta, I would literally I would map out where I was going to cold walk, and I would go to the top of like the high-rise buildings and literally go like all the way down and visit all the businesses in the building. And I'd be like, hi, can I talk to your plan sponsor about your 401k? I was like, but anyway, my point is at 21, markets were hell. I was 21. Markets were terrible. And I literally walk in Smith Barney and I was like, I want to be a financial advisor. And they were like, okay. Well, we're going to start you as a sales assistant first because you got to get your licensing. And I'm like, no. I don't want to be a sales assistant. I want to be a financial advisor. So they were like, oh my God. So finally they were like, okay, man, just throw her in the program, because they don't like to put you in that young because they don't want you to fail. They don't want to set you up to fail, So I knew, my point is I knew I wanted to be a financial advisor when I got out of school. When I first started out at the firm, prior to joining my dad's team, Google had gone public. And I had clients of mine. I had built my own book of clients. And I had very wealthy clients of mine that wanted to get in on the Google IPO. And I don't know if you guys remember when Google went public. Or I don't know if
I know no. it was not. Okay. If I you should have met her then, pal.
Yeah. That might have been.
We wouldn't be sitting here right now.
No, but the Google IPO. I don't know if you guys knew this. The Google IPO was actually was the first auction IPO. So
how much did it go for?
So it was $85.
$85 what?
$85. So it was like back in the day, it was like I had clients that were like, I want in. And I was like, no. We're not doing that. It's too risky.
Oh.
It's too, this is the first auction IPO. And, and then in hindsight, the next day, they're all pissed, they're like, Cassie, we could have gotten in. I'm like, well, who would have thought Google would have gone that way? So then fast forward 10 years, there's a point to this. Fast forward 10 years later, whatever it was, when Facebook goes public. And now I'm like, well, shit, we're going to get everyone in Facebook. Facebook's definitely relative. I dealt with a lot of ultra high net worth clients that would have a portion of their portfolio that we called sexy money. It was like, okay, Cassie, we want the portfolio that makes sense. And then we want this percentage of the portfolio to be like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to put it wherever I want, And we call it the sexy, whether it's
That's a
crypto.
cool label. I love that label.
Sexy,
really chill.
Sexy money, yeah.
To the point.
Yeah.
Now, did the big rich guys like that name? Were they attracted, or did they think that was like not professional enough for them?
Why do you assume it was big rich guys?
Oh fuck! Just got cooked. Just got smoked. I take it. I'm down for the count.
I worked with a lot.
1, 2, 3. I'm down. I'm knocked out.
I had a billionaire female client.
Knockout blow.
Ding, 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 ding.
One step leads to the other. I think in its most basic form, you have your interest is piqued. I think that as a person, once you know that you're interested in something, you take steps toward it. So I would say it's a pathway of me saying, okay, maybe one day it's me seeing an artist or seeing someone playing, and then I'm drawn to it. Then I decided to pick it up. It was school. It was some private parties. I played clarinet I did some time on clarinet.
So I remember you telling me to play the clarinet.
I did some time, and I would show up to some parties with it, like some house parties, people passing around Jello shots and hanging, a good time, DJ, music, and I'd play the little clarinet, not even on a microphone, just showed up and played it. People would freak out. I was like, oh, who's that guy?
With all due respect, panty dropper?
No.
Thought maybe.
Not
No good.
You don't.
Full Squidward vibe.
Gender, genre, is that how you say it?
Genre.
That's
okay.
Grammar's
We can call it
terrible.
gender. That's kind of fun.
All right.
I'm in
grammar's
lots
terrible.
of genders.
Grammar's
Gamer's not good.
How you say it again? Genre.
Genre.
Genre. Why the fuck don't they spell it like genre?
The pop gender.
Genre.
I'm just going to say...
now we call it hip hop.
I'm just going to say your category. Okay, so your category, because I could say that correctly.
That's okay.
So your category,
Yeah.
you originally were one category, and then you wanted to expand to more viewers, streamers, to everybody. So then you added in hip-hop, right? So
Actually, no. So my from day one of coming into this industry, I knew I was going to stay independent. I knew I would probably have to stay independent, initially. But I knew I was going to have my own label. All of this stuff I knew, right, coming in. But I knew that what I hear a lot of music in my head. I hear a lot of things in my head.
I would think so as a musician.
As a producer, I mean, I do. And
you know what? It happens to come at some of the funniest moments when you got other stuff to do.
Go
back to bed.
If you guys saw me in the shower, you have no idea. Like a lot of my, whether
you're
it's
with
in the
two
shower
pretty crazy guys.
driving. No, I just like. I have
actually.
No, I come up with like beats and stuff. No, it's like it's insane. So I hear a lot of like cool shit in my head, and then my biggest challenge is, okay, how the fuck do I take what's in my head and give it to the world, right? And so that's what I had to learn with the software. So once I started getting comfortable with the software, I was like, oh my God, I can actually make this shit. I can let go of some of this shit in my head. But I started out, to answer your question, I started out day one and I was like, fuck the genre thing. I was like, fuck genres. You know what I mean? Like fusion, I don't want to just listen to, a straight rap hip hop song. I don't want to listen to just a pop song. Like I want to take all of this shit and fuse it together.